my dad gave her $50. She kept dropping it and stuff. So it's like this little pocket thing inside of her car seat. So I took the money and I put it in there, and like we brought her upstairs and stuff. What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Brittany Brazy, and we back at it again with another video. And yeah, for those of y'all that don't know me, my name is Brittany. And one thing I forgot to tell y'all in my previous video when I was introducing myself, I'm Guyanese. Like, I'm from Guyana. I was born over there. I was raised there. I came to America in 2012 when I was 7 years old. As you can see in the title down below, this is going to be a story time on how I gave birth, my pregnancy experience, how it was like throughout my pregnancy and stuff. And I wrote like some things down on my notebook so that I could like stay on track of what I'm saying and like of what I'm doing and stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so Malay is like currently sleeping right now, and I'm not trying to be too loud so she will wake up. She moving. Oh, she started moving. I'm not trying to be loud, but a lot of people like kept asking me, oh, how you got pregnant, how you found out you was pregnant, how you told your parents. Like, they wanted to know how I told my dad, my mom, my friends, my baby father, how like we told his family, and such and such. We gonna get into all of that in this video. So yeah, so basically I said this in the previous videos, like I found out I was pregnant because like I used to hang out with my friends them after school a lot, and they was telling me like, hey Brittany, like you've been gaining weight. I started wobbling when I was walking, like I wasn't walking normal, I wasn't acting normal. I kept eating a lot, and I kept peeing. Like after every class I had to pee. So they was like, oh Brittany, take a pregnancy test, take a pregnancy test. So I'm like, all right. So I finally went home that night and I took a pregnancy test. And I was so scared because I was recording it while it was thinking, like while it was moving, I was recording it. I'm gonna show y'all the video. What the fuck do this shit mean? So yeah, in the video, I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, I was scared because I saw one line and then another line popped up, and it wasn't as dark, but it was like there. So, I saw the thing, and then I waited, like, I sent it to the group chat to my friends then, and they was telling me like, oh, Brittany, you pregnant, da 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 da. And I waited like an hour or two later to see the lines, and then the second one got darker. I'm gonna show y'all too. So that's when I told my friends them, and then like I didn't really know what to do because I was kind of like sad and all that because I was 15, I was a freshman, I'm in high school, I was playing basketball. Like the only thing I could have think of was like, yo, my basketball career is over, I don't know what to do no more, da da da. So that's when I saw the video, I texted my baby father, and I was like, yo, I gotta tell you something. He was like, what is it? So I was like, so you know how like I haven't been seeing my period lately, da da da. he was like, yeah. And I'm like, so I took a pregnancy test and dot dot dot. I said dot dot dot. He was like, just say it. What happened? I sent him the picture of it, and I told him like it came out positive. And yeah, that's how I told him. And then like we had a whole talk about it and like all of that. But like with my parents, like my dad and my mom and stuff, I didn't tell my dad until I was like, it was in April. It was no, it was the last day in no, it was April the 5th. April the 5th, I told my dad because he was at work, right? He was at work, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I made sure like he wasn't in the house when I told him because oh my god, he would kill me. So I had to go to like a doctor's appointment the next day. I was going to Planned Parenthood to like see what was going on to like take a pregnancy test and all of that. So I told my dad because we was I was trying to lie to him and tell him like, oh, I had to go to like to do something with my job at the time, and he was like, cause that's when Corona first started, so he was like, no, Corona's out. I don't want you going nowhere. I don't want you catching nothing. Like da da da. And I'm like, oh my god, I really have to go. Like it's about my job. Like you always trying to make something about you. Da da da. So he was like, sorry about that, but it was technical difficulties a minute. So he was like, oh, this is about me. It's not even about you right now. It's Corona going around, and I don't want you going outside. Da 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 da. So I'm over here like, you always trying to make something about you. Well, guess what? I'm about to have a baby. Like that's what I told him. Okay, I fixed the light. Hopefully it don't come back up. I just put a different thing in. But like I was saying, so he was telling me like, oh, Corona's around. It's not even about me anymore because he doesn't want me to like go in and out the house and I catch like Corona in the house, stuff like that. So I told him, I'm like, so you always trying to make something about you. Well, guess what? I'm about to have a baby and ain't nothing you could do about it and stuff like that. So he did not reply to me. He did not reply to me. The first thing he did was he called my mom. He called my mom and like he was crying to my mom saying like, oh my gosh, Shania is pregnant and she told me she was pregnant, da 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 da. And mind you, I'm telling my dad, I ain't expect him to go tell everybody. So my mom kept calling me, calling me, calling me. I'm declining her calls, declining her calls. I'm like, stop calling me, mom. I'm not gonna answer you. She was like, tell me you playing right now. Tell me you playing right now. Tell me it's a joke. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, your dad, what you told your dad? I'm like, mom, it's not a joke. I'm so serious right now. Like, I'm really pregnant. So I told he finally texted me back and he was saying like, Shania, how could you do this? Like he was just disappointed in me and I understand like he's gonna be disappointed in me because like I'm his only child and then at that like I'm a girl and I'm 15 and like all my dad ever wanted was the best of me and I feel like I disappointed him and like that hurted me a lot at the time. Like it hurted me a lot to know like my dad was really crying and stuff like that. So my mom, like my dad was mad at me for a while. Like he was mad at me for months. Like he honestly he didn't want me to have the baby. I'm gonna say that. Like my dad didn't want me to have it. So when he told me that, well, I knew he was gonna want me to have it because like I'm not that's like I'm his only kid. But my mom, when I told my mama that it's like true and stuff, she was talking to me like asking me have I been eating good and like am I okay? Do I have any symptoms and stuff like that? I'm telling her like no, I'm okay. I've been eating and stuff like that. And then so the next day I went to the doctors and like I took a pregnancy test and they told me like, oh, I thought I was 15 weeks for some like I thought it happened on my anniversary, but it actually happened around like Thanksgiving time. No, I thought it happened around Thanksgiving, but it happened around like my anniversary time in November. Well, yeah. So my me and Mark is not together no more, guys. We're not together no more. None of that. So it's like, oh, this is old. But so I it happened around then. I thought I was like 15 weeks. The doctor was like, I'm 21 weeks. Do I want to get an abortion or keep the baby? So I'm like, nah, I don't want to kill the baby. Like, she already has a heart and all of that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly was thinking about like not having a kid at the time because I was so young. And then at that, I was playing basketball and like my mind was just everywhere at the moment. But when they told me like I was 21 weeks, I ain't second guess nothing. I ain't second guessing for a minute. I'm like, I'm keeping the baby. And then the doctors looked at me like I was stupid or something. So I signed my release papers to like I could go. And they gave me like the papers saying like I was 21 weeks, my due dates, and stuff like that. So I took that, and the person that drove me there was like my mentor. She was like my mentor since 2017. And like she was the first person I honestly, no, she wasn't the first person I told. My friends was. But I eventually told her because I needed her to like drive me there and stuff like that. She was very supportive of anything I want to do. Like I love her so much till this day. So she drove me back home, and my dad asked me like, am I pregnant? What's going on? I'm like, yeah, Dad, I'm pregnant. And I told him like I was 21 weeks. And that same exact day, my dad came inside the room. He came inside the room and he started crying in front of me, right? So that broke my heart so much because it's like I never saw my dad cry so much before. And like he cried and like I feel like his heart was hurting because like he was holding his heart while he was crying. Like he couldn't breathe. And I'm like, yo, like I really hurted my dad. And I know like he's probably gonna be disappointed in me for this like for a while, but he's not mad at me anymore about it. He's actually happy because like that's his first grandkid and stuff like that. But my mom was only mad at me for like a couple of days. But when I showed her the paper and told her like it's okay, like mom, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna continue going to school and I'm gonna keep doing everything that I can. I'm gonna graduate high school and be something great in life and stuff like that. She wasn't mad at me because like I'm telling her like I'm gonna be okay. Like if I gotta take care of this kid by myself, I'm gonna do it, mom. Like it's okay. And like I was just talking to her and talking to her, and she eventually was okay with it. And then like my dad didn't want me to keep the baby and stuff like that. I was living with him, so I got scared. I don't know why, but like I was just scared. So I got my aunt to pick me up, and I came and I started staying by my aunt's house for like a week. Not even a week, a few days, and then I went to my mom's house because it's no way my dad could go to my mom's house. Like it's no possible way he would even go over there. So I stayed with my mom from like April to July, the beginning of July. And then from July, I stayed at my aunt's house. And it's been a year since I've been living over here now. Well, yes, about to be a year since I've been living with my aunt. And yeah, like she, like I started living over here with my aunt. And yeah, but my dad's okay with it now. My mom's okay. Like she loves Malay. Everybody loves Malay. Like she's a good kid and stuff. Um, like during my pregnancy, like the 9 months of my pregnancy, symptoms like the symptoms I had was like I remember this one time like I was throwing up. It's this one morning like before I found out I was pregnant. I woke up and I just had like so much throw up in my mouth. Like I immediately had to go to the bathroom and like throw up. But I threw up like once or twice. It wasn't nothing serious though. I threw up then. The other time I threw up, like I said in my previous video, it was at basketball practice that one time. And then like another symptom I had was like nauseous. Like I was always nauseous. For some reason, hospitals made me nauseous at the time. Like anytime I went to like for a checkup, like to hear the heartbeat and stuff like that, like a checkup on Malaya while she was inside of me, like I was nauseous. I was at the hospital. I was weak. I felt like I had to faint every single time. Like I couldn't be in hot places. I couldn't be in hot places, even at home. Like especially because it was summer, I had to turn the fan on. I had the AC on, everything. I had to be in a place that's cool. And my aunt used to walk in my room like, girl, you're not cold, mind you. Like, even if it's cold in the room, I will be hot. So, like, if I turn the AC off or the fan off, my body, I would feel so nauseous. Like, I just had to drink a lot of cold water and stuff like that to keep my body, like, monitorized. Um, but another thing, like the things I liked when I was pregnant, I loved pickles. For some reason, like every day before school, every day after school, I would eat pickles. And my friends them used to be so aggravated with me. They used to be like, girl, you just keep buying pickles. You just keep buying pickles. I'm like, leave me alone. Let me get my pickles. I used to have like 2 or 3 pickles in the morning. I have pickles after school. And then like I used to want ice cream so bad. Like I remember this one time I was craving ice cream and I didn't want to walk to the store. So my friend, like, she went after school. She bought me some ice cream and stuff like that. Like, yeah. And I just used to eat a lot. Like, every second of the day, I just used to eat. And I never used to leave the house. Like, I used to always be in the house. I didn't want to go nowhere. I just wanted to lay in bed all day. I wanted to sleep all day. Like, I would sleep during the day all the time. And then at nighttime, I would be up all night. Then another thing is like even from like when I was, let me see, from like 4 or 5 months, yeah, 4 or 5, 4.5, 5 months, I started peeing like every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes till like the day after I gave birth, then it stopped. Like I used to have to pee and pee and pee, and it was so aggravating because like I couldn't leave the house without like not having to pee. Like I had to pee every second, and it was just oh my god, like I can't even walk to the corner store without not having to pee. I would have to rush back in the house and stuff. So that's why I used to just stay home and stuff like that. And like throughout my 9 months of pregnancy, like I was very stressed out. Like I was stressing a lot. I was just thinking about life, just thinking about a whole lot of things. Like and people that was like around me at the time wasn't really making nothing better for me. But my mom, she made everything easy for me. Like she used to, oh my gosh, she used to spend $400 every 2 weeks on groceries just because I kept eating everything. Like she told me I was an elephant. She said I eat like an elephant. And I used to eat stuff like Caribbean stuff. I was craving a lot of Caribbean food, like Guyanese food, food from back home, and it's hard to find that stuff over here because it's like even if you find it, it won't taste like how it is back home. So it was really hard for me to like not to get what I needed at the moment. But my mom tried her best with me. She used to buy so many juices, so many snacks, chips, bread, like everything that I wanted, she would get for me. I used to crave banana pudding, and she got me so many banana puddings. I was just like, just the little things. Um, and yeah, it was like that. But throughout my pregnancy, I was very, very, very stressed out to the point where it was this one time like I went to the doctors and the doctor was telling me like for some reason like the baby is like I need to calm down a little because I'm stressing. The doctor told me like whatever I'm going through or whatever I'm feeling the baby can feel too, right? So he was telling me like, oh, I'm stressing a lot, that I need to calm because it's like gonna harm the baby. And I didn't want nothing to happen to my baby. So it's like at the time, certain people in my life, then I just had to like stop speaking to them a bit. But like we would still talk, but not as much as we used to and stuff like that. And when I was so yeah, since we got that out the way, I'm gonna tell y'all the story about how I gave birth. So yeah. Okay. So when I gave birth July 21st, 2020, right? So the day before I gave birth, I was just outside walking around because it's summer. Like, I know I had a belly or whatever. But I had, like, just walking around my block, just going up and down, just going to the store, just chilling, relaxing, and stuff like that. And, It was like 2 o'clock. I went to sleep around like 12 o'clock that night. I woke up around 2 a.m. because my stomach was hurting me. And I was thinking, like, why is my stomach hurting me? Mind you, like, my stomach started getting big. I'm gonna show you a picture. Okay, so like my stomach started getting bigger and stuff like that, and I didn't know like it was hurting, and I didn't know why it was hurting. I thought it was just like, cause it used to hurt at times too, like for no reason. I would just put like something, a cold compression on it, and it would like go away. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, my stomach started hurting. So I had like a cold water bottle next to me. I don't know. So I put the cold water bottle on my stomach and like try to go back to sleep. But then I woke up at like 10 minutes later after putting the cold bottle on my stomach. And is she waking up? No, she's dreaming. Okay, guys, so Malay is currently taking her bottle. Yes, she knows how to hold her bottle by herself now. So she's drinking her bottle and going back to sleep. And I'm gonna finish the video. So, yeah, so I had a cold compression on my stomach. It wasn't working. I woke up 10 minutes later and like it just kept hurting me and I didn't know what to do. So I'm just awake. I'm calling everybody. Like the first person I really called was Janice. Like I called her and but she didn't answer me because she was asleep. So I text no, she didn't answer me, I think. I don't recall, but I knew I was texting her and I was telling her like, oh my stomach's hurting me, like I don't know what to do. And then another person I called was Kanaja, but she was also asleep, so she didn't answer me. And like I called a few people, like I didn't call my aunt or my mom or nothing, because I just thought it was like regular pain. I was trying to figure out like what's going on. I'm trying to call my friends, then like what's happening, stuff like that. So the first person I told when my stomach was hurting was actually Janice. I told her first, and then like I texted my friends in a group chat, and I was telling them, "Oh y'all, my stomach hurt. I think it's time." But I wasn't really sure, to be honest, and I didn't want to just tell my aunt like, "Oh my stomach hurt," and go to the hospital and waste time, and like they just send me home, cause I live like all the way in the north, and then we went to Bethesda. That's where Malay was at, and that's all the way in the south. Like that's mad far, not mad far, but like it's a good drive. So that's when I was up just walking around the room like squatting, trying to like go back to sleep, and nothing was honestly working. So I decided that I was gonna call my social worker from 7th grade, which is Malaya's godmother, Miss Zachary. So I called her around like 4 o'clock in the morning now because my stomach it just kept hurting even worse, and I don't know what was happening. So I'm calling her. I FaceTime her. I'm like, Miss Zachary, I'm sorry for calling you at 4 in the morning, but my stomach hurt. I don't know what's happening. Da 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 da. So she was telling me like, oh, go tell somebody, go tell somebody. I'm like, no, they all sleep. I don't want to wake them up. So I try to go wake up my girl cousin because her room was like right next door when I was sleeping upstairs. But I'm downstairs now and it's like I'm by myself down here. So I walked up the stairs and I went to her room and I was trying to wake her up, but she was sleeping deep. So she's dreaming. But I didn't wake her up because she wasn't trying to wake up. So I went back in the room. I'm like, Miss Zachary, she's not waking up. I don't know what to do. She was like, okay, just relax. So I'm just sitting. I'm walking around the room talking to Miss Zachary. Da, da, da. And like, I think I started getting contraction. No, I started getting Braxton Hicks contractions. And like, it wasn't like minute wise. I was waiting until I get like the minute wise one to go to the hospital. So it was like I was just getting contractions and it was just like hurting. But then it started getting worse. It started coming like every minute. And I was just like so scared to wake somebody up. So Miss Zachary was like, I'm calling your aunt. I forgot she has my aunt number. She has everybody in my family number. So she hung up the FaceTime call for me and she called my aunt and my aunt picked up at like 4 in the morning. She don't usually answer her phone, but somehow she just answered her phone this time. And Miss Zachary was telling her like, okay, Brittany is in pain. I think she might be going into labor. Da, da, da. So my aunt woke up all curious, like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? I'm like, my stomach hurt. No, before that, Miss Zachary told me to go tell somebody. So I went in the living room and I told my grandma that my stomach hurt. So my country, the stomach is like the heart, like up here. So I'm like, Grandma, my stomach hurt. But she thinking of my heart. She was probably like, oh, it's just burning, like probably heartburn or something. So I'm like, no. She was like, just go back to sleep. It's gonna be okay. If it hurts during the day, we're gonna go to the emergency room, to the hospital or something. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, Miss Zachary, you heard what she just told me? She told me go back to sleep. So that's when she called my aunt and she told my aunt. And my aunt came and then I'm like, ouch, 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 ouch. Like I was making sounds like that because like it was hurting. So she told me pack a bag. I'm like, mind you, I did not have nothing packed, bro. I had nothing packed. Because Malay's supposed to come on the 30th, but it was the 21st. I should have packed a bag. I don't know why I didn't do it. But my auntie packed my bag for me. And I went in, I brushed my teeth, I combed my hair, I put like a bonnet, this bonnet thing over my head. And then like my contractions coming worse, like they was coming like in a minute, and my aunt was like, how long is your contractions? I'm like, I don't know, because I didn't know at the time, because I wasn't checking it. So but Miss Zachary, she was checking it. I don't know why, I don't know how she checked it, but she was checking it. She was like, they're a minute, yeah, they're a minute, take us to the hospital. So we in a car going to the hospital. I'm still on FaceTime with Miss Zachary. We got to the hospital and they making me do paperwork, right? They put me in the wheelchair and they pushed me. We got in the elevator. They took me to labor and delivery, and that's when they had me filling out paperwork. I'm just sitting there, mind you, bro. I was going through it like I couldn't see nothing that was on that paper. I couldn't sign nothing, and I'm like, my stomach hurt. My stomach hurt. Can somebody take me to a room? Can somebody do something? And the nurses was just standing there, and this one black nurse, she was seeing like, oh my God. She was like, can somebody take this girl to a room? She about to give birth. Da da da. So like my contractions were crazy. Like it hurt so bad to the point where I couldn't take it. So I started doing my paperwork. So I finished the paperwork or whatever. And then they took me to the room. They made me walk to the room. So I'm walking to the room. I got out the outfit. Like I got out of all my clothes. I take my bra off, my shirt off, my panties, everything off, socks. You couldn't have nothing on. So they put me in like this dress, this hospital dress thing, like, and they told me to pee in a cup. So I peed in the cup, and they was telling me like, oh, I don't know what they did with it, but they took the pee and did something. And then this one doctor, right? She just kept like she tried to poke a thing inside. I forgot what it's called. A thing in here for the thing to drip. No, she was trying to take blood from me. Yeah, she was trying to poke it here, but I think she poked it wrong, and like it started turning black. Like not black, but like it started turning like a dark color. So she had to do something. I don't know. So she had to take my blood from like right here, and yeah, and I was having contractions and stuff like that. And she just kept asking me so many questions, and I was getting mad, and I started rolling my eyes. I have a video. Let me show y'all. Stop recording me.
Any medical problems or any issues with the pregnancy?
Look at her face.
Any travel recently?
No.
Any fevers, coughing, shortness of breath?
No.
Tell them what happened to you.
I don't
Tell
know.
them what happened. Go on. Tell them what happened.
Leave me alone.
What happened? You okay?
I know.
What happening? You good? Is that your face? Is that your pain face? Like seriously? I'm gonna show this to your daughter when she look at you. Sing the song. Sing the song that you were singing earlier.
Ouch.
Again.
Leave me alone.
Sing the out song.
Oh my god.
Where? Where is it? I didn't see God there. Where is it?
Who's
You alone seeing God?
my mom not answering? That's what you get.
Okay. Oh.
So yeah, and like I was just going through it. So my aunt told me call my baby father and his mom and tell them, and I didn't want to tell them yet because it's like this is when we was in the car. I didn't want to tell them because I didn't want to just tell them and they come to the hospital. I just waste their time, right? So we got to the hospital and I found out like I was like she opened me. That oh my god, that hurt. That's another thing that hurt. When they check your cervix, it hurt. They push their finger in. It's like this, right? They push it in and they open it like that to feel. And oh my god, it hurt so bad. I did not know it was gonna hurt so much. I'm like, get out, get out, get out. So I called them and I told them like I'm 4 centimeters dilated and yeah, so she went, his mom woke him up and she told him like, oh, Brittany about to go into labor, da da da. So they came to the hospital. Nobody could have been up there with me, so it was just me, him, and my aunt. Like they made an exception for my aunt, and I wanted my aunt to be there, so I let her stay. But honestly, I wanted my mom to be there, but they wasn't gonna let her up. So yeah, and that's when I'm just gonna show you guys some videos of me like in a hospital, so y'all can see like what was happening.
Tired. Baby mama sleep. Baby daddy sleep. Auntie security guard.
Okay, so that's some videos of me like when I was in a hospital of like what everything was going on, how I was in pain and stuff. And it was at one point where I was like so cold to the point where like the room was hot, but I was freezing cold. And I told them like they had to put these warm blankets all over me, like it was all over me. I was looking like a Muppet or something. Let me show y'all. So yeah, it was like that. And then like the doctor came back in and I was going through so much pain. Like my contractions was like coming, 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 minute after minute after minute after minute. And I couldn't take it no more. Like I didn't want to get an epidural. But then it's like I couldn't take the pain. I started crying. I was telling the doctors like, oh my god, da da da. Started cursing my doctors out, telling them like, just give me the epidural. What is you taking so long for? So I had to take the epidural. So I did the epidural. But before you take an epidural, oh my god, they had to take my blood. They had to wait for my blood work to come back. They had to wait. They had to take the corona test. Like I'm in labor and I'm taking a corona test. Like I don't got the rona. And if I did have the rona, they would have caught it already because they was already touching me and being around me. But no, they wanted to wait till I was in so much pain to give me the dang on corona test. And I was so mad because that junk was like all up in my nose. And I'm like, ugh, ugh. I was looking like that. I swear to God, that junk had me like, ugh. But yeah. So that's when the doctor they left out, and then like 2 hours later, I got the epidural. I got the epidural around like 10 o'clock that day. So I was in labor, mind you. I was in labor for like 10, 11 hours. Oh, my phone almost died. So I was in labor for almost like 10, 11 hours. And I got the epidural around like 10 something. And it put me straight to sleep. Like I was gone. Let me show y'all. So yeah, my auntie was basically just recording things, and she was like, "Oh, she gonna show my lady when she gets older." So it was like that, and yeah. So I took the epidural and I was out, and then the doctor came in and she woke me up, and she tried to like check my cervix again. Mind you, when you're getting like more centimeters, like I was like 10 centimeters dilated, and she put her hand in there to check, and oh my god, it hurted so bad. And I'm like, can you get out? Can you get out? She was like, I know it hurt, I know it hurt, but hold on. I'm like, no, get out, get out. I'm just yelling at her, telling her like, get out of me. What are you doing? So she was telling me like, mind you, my legs was paralyzed, cause like the epidural, it makes your body from the waist down paralyzed. You can't feel nothing or nothing like that. So I was paralyzed from the waist down, and she gonna tell me if I feel something, push. And I told her, if I'm paralyzed from the waist down, how do you expect me to feel something? How you expect me to know the baby about to come out if I'm paralyzed? She made me mad with that one. She was like, oh my god, oh my god. And I'm like, she was just telling me to hold my breath and push. So I'm over here like I looked at constipated. I wish we could have recorded it, but they was like, oh, it's illegal, you can't record it. I'm like trying to tell my auntie, sneak and record it, sneak and record it. But she was like, she couldn't, because the one doctor was over there like standing by her and stuff, so she couldn't record it. But yeah, so she showed me how to push, and I was doing it, and then she was like, okay, you're ready to push. And I'm like, okay, but like when I was pushing, I was just pushing and just pushing, but I didn't make no sounds because like I was paralyzed. I can't feel nothing. I didn't feel when she was coming out. I didn't feel no ribs or nothing like that. But like I do know that I had to get a few stitches. I had to get like 2 or 3 stitches. And when Malaya came out, I cried. Let me show y'all.
Mommy, take a picture there.
So cut in between the two, okay?
Yeah. It's tough. It's a tough cord, but it's wonderful. And you can say you cut the cord. Almost.
So it's so
There we go. Let's see.
Okay.
Say hi.
Oh my God, look at that.
It's a girl. Just had to check.
Oh.
Make sure. Congratulations. Wasn't as bad as you thought, was it? Look at your... No. It's just due till she goes home because of COVID. That's the only thing. Go home. You can have visitors if you want, or you know.
So
You
how
want.
long do
She stays 2 days.
Here?
Yep, in the hospital. She'll move to another
So
room
but
across the room.
can I leave, come back?
Yes, you can leave and come
Okay.
back, and. Do you want me to go ahead and weigh her and stuff and do all that footprints?
So yeah, when she came out, I cried and I was like so happy. And like the first minute I saw her and I held her, I thought I was gonna drop her because she was so tiny. She was only like 6 pounds 5 ounces. She was 19 inches, and oh my god, like I was so scared. But I was so happy, and like when I held her, I fell in love with her. I didn't even want to let her go. I'm like, oh my god, like I didn't care about nothing at that moment. I cared about basketball. I didn't care about nobody around me or nothing like that. I was just holding her. I'm like, Sunny, my baby girl, Sunny, my baby girl. So after I had her, they took me to a room, like they gave my stitches, they cleaned me up and stuff like that, and they made me wear like a pad that was from like the top of my stomach to the back of my neck. Not really, hypothetically, I was just being sarcastic. It was from here to like here, and then it's like you had to, and like when you pee and stuff like that, you had this little white squishy bottle, you had to squeeze it to like, it was warm water in there to like get the blood out, and then you had to like use paper, the tissue, you had to like dap it. You couldn't wipe, you had to dab softly, and then like you had this blue spray bottle, and you spray it to like the numbness, and if it's itching or anything, you just spray it, and you just like put it on, and yeah, it helps a lot, cause like, yeah. But when I was in the hospital, they used to give me this pill, like, cause it's gonna hurt after you give birth. So they gave me a pill, like every 6 hours. But I wasn't really taking a pill because I wasn't really in so much pain after I gave birth. And the doctor was like, "Oh my God, you don't need no pill. You haven't been taking your pills." I'm like, "No, I'm okay. Like, I'm not really hurting or nothing like that." So yeah, it was like that. And I'm gonna show y'all some videos and pictures of like me and her like on the first day. Like, I'm gonna show you me, her, and I'm gonna show you like everybody that was like holding her, stuff like that.
That's right.
This is Malaya. Look at her. First day.
Look at that. She's so alert.
Uh-huh.
Huh? She's so alert.
Yeah, right? Malaya's dead. You excited? I think it has to do with the lighting in the room too. Hey kitty. Hey kitty. What? What?
So yeah, that was that. And then like I had they took her for like a couple good hours, like a lot. Like they took her for like 3 4 hours, and I was confused because they had to take her upstairs to wash her and all that stuff. And I was missing her, mind you. I just had her, and I was just missing her. I'm like, can I get my baby back? Every time the doctor came and check on me, I'm like, where's my baby? Can I get my baby? Where's my baby? So yeah, they came back. Yo, I fell in love with Malay the first time I met her. Like, I really fell in love. Like, she really changed my life in such a good way. Because if she wasn't here, I know for a fact I would have still been on that crazy old Britney. But a lot of people that know me from then to now knew how much I changed, knew I matured a lot, and all of that. So, yeah, but that's a good thing for me. Like, I love my baby. So, yeah, the first day in the hospital, it was really hard for me because I was there by myself in the hospital, and like I didn't know what to do. I'm a first time mom, so I was very confused on a lot of things. I knew how to change a pamper and stuff like that, but she didn't pee the first night. So the doctors told me like they put like this peeing bag thing inside of her because she wasn't like using the bathroom or nothing. So they had to wait until like she peed until I could like change her pampers and stuff. So yeah. So the first night with her, it was very, very, very hard for me. I didn't know what I was doing. She was crying, and I didn't know why she was crying. I picked her up. I didn't know like what to do. And when I was feeding her, I used to breastfeed her at first. So anytime I had to breastfeed, I would call the doctor, like ring them on the little phone thing, and I would ask them for help to assist me on like tell me how to breastfeed because I didn't know how to do it. I had nobody in the hospital there to help me. Like I was doing it all myself the first night, and it was really, really, really hard. But like, yeah. So we stayed in the hospital for like 2 days, and then we went home. My dad came picked me, her up, and then my baby father came back the next day. And then yeah, my dad picked us up or whatever, and we went to my house. My dad, no, when my dad picked us up, he was so happy to see her. He gave her $50. Like it's this tradition thing that Guyanese people do. Like when the baby's first born, you give them money in their hands and they hold it till they get home and stuff like that. So my dad gave her $50, and then she was holding it. She kept dropping it in her car. So yeah, my dad gave her $50. She kept dropping it and stuff. So it's like this little pocket thing inside of her car seat. So I took the money and I put it in there. And like we brought her upstairs and stuff like that. The whole family was there. My side of the family, his side of the family. They all wanted to meet her and stuff. So she came home or whatever, and like yeah, and like my cousins gave her $100. My mom gave her $100. Like everybody was giving her on my side of the family was like giving her hella money and stuff like that. So I was taking it, and I have like this little thing where I put her money and stuff. And so yeah, I'm gonna show you guys pictures of that. So yeah, and like every day I would just like take pictures of her, and going on by the days, like she was like my little doll. I would dress her up, take pictures of her and everything like that. So when I first came home, it wasn't as hard as I thought like it would be. Like my family was helping me. Like I have a great support system on my side. Like my family helps me watch her, and like when I get tired of stuff, they will watch and let me sleep while I go to school and stuff like that. And then it used to be like, sorry about that. It said it keeps taking my video off because like it said I had no storage in my phone, so I had to clear my phone up a little bit. But like I was saying, like I have a great support system in my family, so it's like anytime I was tired and exhausted and needed a break and stuff like that, my family would watch her. But like when she was first born, I was like, I would say like I wanted her with me 25/8. Like I never wanted to let her go. I never wanted nobody else to hold her, nothing. I wanted her with me. I wanted to hold her, take care of her. Like I feel like it's my responsibility. Like I made her, it was my choice. I didn't want nobody else to take care of my child. Like even if though I was tired and exhausted, had sleepless nights, I still wanted to do what I had to do for her, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. But like she got to the stage where she used to like stay up all night, 5, 6 in the morning, and I would be so tired, and I would get aggravated because of it. But I had to think to myself like I can't be aggravated because of this. She's just a baby, like yeah. And it was like it gets hard at times and stuff like that. But I got through it, and she's now about 7 months, about to be 8 months on the 21st, and yeah, like she's getting bigger. She's learning things. She's learning how to play and walk. Well, she didn't learn how to walk yet, but she knows how to crawl. She knows how to stand up and stuff like that. Like she knows how to stand up by herself, but she takes a step, but she will fall. She climbs up the steps and stuff like that. So I'm gonna show you guys like little videos and clips of her, of like her aging and getting older, and her like climbing up the stairs and doing like crazy things. And yeah, she's just like a lovable baby. Like I love her so much. And like even though it's like I'm doing this all by myself, like just me and Malaya, like I'm basically just doing everything with myself for her. Like it's get hard, but I know what I can say is that like it's a great experience and stuff like that. But advice to you teen moms out there, like it's gonna get hard at times, but you like just don't give up. And especially for like the single moms out there, like it's gonna be nice where you just want to give up and you just want to say like I can't do this no more. Like you just can't take it, but you gotta look and see like, oh, you're all that your baby have. Like he or she's gonna need you. Just don't give up. Keep going, do it for him or her, and just like you know, everything gets better as they get older and stuff like that. They get older and things they gonna know, have better sense and stuff. But just don't give up. Just keep going. And like for when they up, like those sleepless nights, babies they just want to play. So you could just like let them play and stuff like that. But whatever you do, just don't give up. Because you're gonna get to the point where you just don't want to do it anymore. You don't want to, like, you just wish that it never happened. But don't ever like wish this never happened, because babies are blessings. And once they like get older, you're gonna see like this more fun because they started crawling, they started playing. You can finally play with them and stuff like that. um advice to people that like has like the baby father in the life and stuff like that. Like to anybody honestly, even single moms, like y'all got this. Y'all got this. Don't give up. Like just keep going, push through it. Like my young teen moms, like y'all got this. Y'all young. And I know like y'all want to go out and party and stuff like that, but you have a kid now. You have responsibilities and you gotta like just give your kid your all. Like say you grow up and you don't have like give your child a life that you wanted. Like put it as that. Give your child the life that you wanted. Give him or her an amazing life. Like spoil them. Love them. Like quality time with your child, that's very important too. And yeah, like I said, just don't give up. Like just don't. But I'm just gonna show you guys some videos and clips and stuff like that of like Malaya. So yeah.
Your fire is glad in the kitchen. You know, you stay behind the kitchen. And you're not going to everybody.
Okay, and that concludes my video of my teenage pregnancy slash experience and all of that stuff that you guys was asking me for. I hope you guys like my video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and put the post notification on. And yeah.